32nd Sunday in Ordinary Time, Cycle B. The community's action in solidarity and Association Jesus Solidarity are inviting you to listen to the Living Gospel for November 10. Let us then meditate on the Gospel according to Mark chapter 12, verses 38 to 44, with commentary from Fr.Patxi Loidi in the voice of Liquicia. Proclamation of the Holy Gospel according to St. Mark. In the course of his teaching, Jesus said to the crowds, "Beware of the scribes, who like to go around in long robes and accept greetings in the marketplaces, seats of honor in synagogues, and places of honor at banquets. They devour the houses of widows and, as a pretext, recite lengthy prayers. They will receive a very severe condemnation." He sat down opposite the treasury and observed how the crowd put money into the treasury. Many rich people put in large sums. A poor widow also came and put in 2 small coins worth a few cents. Calling his disciples to himself, he said to them, "Amen, I say to you, this poor widow put in more than all the other contributors to the treasury. For they have all contributed from their surplus wealth, but she, from her poverty, has contributed all she had, her whole livelihood." The word of the Lord. Fr.Patxi's commentary. Dear friends, what do you think of today's gospel? We must recognize that Jesus is lucid and courageous. He openly criticizes the scribes or teachers of the law. He is a ruthless critic of their pride and greed. Don't you think that his critique can be applied to many religious leaders of today? First, pride, feeling superior, treating people with little consideration and exercising control over them. These are also happening today. People who follow this kind of religious leaders are very much to blame because they revere them too much, as if their words were the words of God. And more, isn't it true that many of them take advantage of people who give tithes and alms? We all see how in a short span of time, these religious leaders change their cars, buy a much better one, and acquire big houses, even luxurious ones. Jesus has a very harsh phrase for them: devour the money of widows. And unfortunately, there are people so stupid that they say these leaders are blessings from God. So much avarice of some and ignorance of others. Next, Jesus presents us with the opposite figure, a woman who gives to the temple everything she has and needs to live. Nowadays, widows and single women are trying to keep afloat even if they are in a lot of trouble. This was impossible in Jesus' time. In those days, a widowed woman was helpless, exposed to domination and exploitation of anyone, condemned to survive badly. The widow in today's gospel was one of them. She put into the money box of the temple what little she had, less than 2 cents of a dollar. Media and social media praise the donations of the wealthy, which for them are worth less than 2 cents, as they have so much wealth. And we are fools to admire them. But Jesus was smart. He sees more than what we see. His criteria are different from ours. This poor widow can cast more than all the others. How could he say this? Because he looked at things with the eyes of God. This gospel gives us a living image of Jesus, a great observer of reality, with a critical sense, not fooled by appearances. He sees the bottom of things with the eyes of God. And he offers us great lessons that we can be critics of leaders, even religious ones. Let us not be overcome by arrogance and greed, that we do not call money a blessing as blessings of God, and that we learn to see reality from the eyes of God. And what else? That we should give money to our poor sisters and brothers without fearing them. Despite economic crisis and pandemic, the wealthy spend much more than they need. Yes, much more. Jesus was petrified, saying that the widow gave all that she had, while his disciples did not understand his message. Will you and me surprise Jesus today? Prayer. Contrasts. Consecrated persons of the church, will they be judged harshly like the teachers of the law? They believed they were somebody. They made themselves to be saluted. They were looking for the first positions. They devoured the widow's silver and blocked God by placing themselves first in the photo. Let us see if we will do the same. Let us see if we will hide the Lord by placing ourselves in the front row. Isn't the first place for him and no one else? They will judge us severely. Women servants in temples, humble without ringing the bell. You are the heiresses of that widow of the 2 cents. They sweep the temples, decorate them. They wash the albs and iron them. They prepare ornaments that others will wear, always present without anyone noticing, sometimes supporting the authoritarian clerics. Women in poor neighborhoods, in penitentiaries and in discarded areas, defending abandoned people, giving what you are lacking. Who sees them? Who finds out? Who offers them a flower? They are invisible in society and in churches. The widow was also invisible to the disciples. But Jesus sees them. He knows that they are essential. He looks at them with admiration, and he has raised a throne for them. Do not think about leaving. Do not leave. This church does not want you to know that it needs you urgently. You are her lungs and her heart. Stay always. We need your examples. You remind us of the sister of Nazareth. God has also seen your humiliation.